Hey, I'm back with No Frills Hi-Fi. Today I wanted to do a follow-up video of the Heaven 11 Billie Mark III Spartan amp. I've had some time to play with it, not as much as I maybe would like, because I'm hoping they'll let me keep it forever if you're watching Heaven 11. But I put about 30 hours into this. Admittedly, probably about 10 hours with the gold tubes and about 20 hours with the red. I wanted to give them their fair shake, but I ended up going back to the red because even though they are cheaper, I enjoyed them a little more. But I'll get into that in a minute. As it's configured, I got both the headphone modules. I did a video on how to change those. I did upgrade the firmware before I used it and made a video of that too. As it's configured, let me look at my notes here. So price would have been $3,167. I did go for the upgraded power supply, and I'm going to get this wrong if I don't look at my notes, but let's see, it comes with the Ice Power 200AS2, which, as they say on their website, offers warm organic sound with lush mids and powerful bass. But you can also upgrade for $249 to the Hypex NC252 for neutral transparency, lightning fast transients, tight bass control. And it goes on. I didn't get both of those power supplies, so I really can't tell you the difference. I did get the upgraded one. I would do that again. If you're going to put this kind of money into an amplifier, $249 really isn't that bad. So you might as well get the better one. And you know, if you end up changing speakers, even if you don't feel like you need it right now, you can always have that later. I did feel like it was really well powered. Never really had any trouble. I drove several different speakers. From a Perion, Triangle, I did the Berea BR04. And I also drove some Definitive Technology BP90s. Those, or 9040, sorry. They have a self-powered subwoofer, so they're really more for cinema, but I did try it with them, and it honestly, it had no trouble with any of them. I will say the Triangle speakers, I think, sounded the best to me. I'll get into some of that when I talk about the tubes and stuff in a minute, but as far as the headphone amplifier, it comes with the core headphone amp, and then you can also upgrade to the performance headphone amp. Like I said, I tried both. Not a huge headphone guy. I don't have a huge selection of headphones. I did try them with some Mies Audio 109s. I tried it with Fosi Audio i5 that I just got. And honestly, I mean, those are easy to drive headphones, so I don't want to sound like I put it through its paces with the headphones. Unfortunately, I could have done better had I had the equipment. But I will say there is a marked difference between the core model and the performance. What I really noticed more than anything with the performance module, it felt like the soundstage was a lot more open, a lot more realistic. I can't say there was anything really wrong with the core, and if I was purchasing it, even not being a headphone guy, I'd probably still, $100, kind of drop in the bucket at the cost of this thing. So yeah, I'd probably upgrade. Even if you don't, you can always buy it later on and upgrade after the fact if you decide you're a headphone guy all of a sudden. But what I really was impressed with, like I said, with that performance core is the realism to it. Again, not a big headphone guy, but I don't know that I've ever really felt like that before with headphones, which is why I'm not really a headphone guy. I always feel a little claustrophobic, like it's just kind of playing into my brain, even with open back headphones. I didn't have that with this, and I didn't really, I'm going to admit here, I didn't realize that an amplifier could really change that. So I was super impressed with this. I don't think it's going to turn me into a headphone dude, but if anything was going to do it, this might. I will say I do wish that on the negative side, just to be as unbiased as possible, I do wish that it had like a 4.4 XLR output for the headphones. I think that would be kind of cool to add that. Not a deal breaker, especially for me. Like I said, it's not my thing. But, okay, so as far as the tubes go, you can make a choice between red and gold. They're both JJECC99 tubes. It's $69 to upgrade to the gold. Again, pretty insignificant at the cost of this, but I gotta admit, I didn't like them as much. I did like them, but I definitely spent more time listening to the red because I just really liked the way that it sounded. And I'm going to, again, pull from their website here, but according to them, the red delivers a smooth, warm, rich presentation with a slightly rolled off treble, full mids, deep bass. Offers solid detail retrieval and soundstage width with a more forgiving, relaxed tone. The gold takes a more analytical approach, detailed, open, dynamic, with extended treble, transient mids, tight bass. Presents a wider soundstage, heightened resolution, and energetic, engaging character. It did all those things. So many times you read on the website and you're like, am I going to be able to tell the difference? Is it really astronomical? I think it is. I was actually really impressed with the difference, and I've changed tubes out before and seen a difference, but I really felt at home with the red more. And it's really, goes back to what it says, smooth, warm, rich presentation. To me, that's what I look for in a tube amp. If I wanted analytical, I would probably go with a solid state. For me, I like that kind of warm vintage tube sound. And for me, the red tubes really had that classic kind of feel to it, like what you think of when you think of a tube amp. For me, the gold was just a little bit over analytical. Both of them were really good. The soundstage was a little more open with gold. I'll give it that. I did enjoy the extended treble a little bit with gold, but I don't think the trade-off was worth that for me. If I'm being honest, if I was buying this, I'd probably buy both sets because I'm an audio nerd, and I'd have fun playing with it and seeing what the difference is with different albums and different phono preamps and things like that. Just to give you kind of the full rundown of what I used with it, I used a Denon DP 1200 turntable. I have a Denon 103R cartridge. Let's see, phono preamp. I used a couple of them. I used a Fosi Audio box. This is why we're no frills. Everybody else would just edit this out, but I'm going to find it. Sorry about that. Do not touch that dial. But I used that phono preamp, and it is the Box X5. I feel like it did pretty well, although obviously it's a more entry level. So I did feel like it maybe struggled just a little bit, especially with the highs. The bass wasn't quite as punchy as I like. I switched over to my Parasound X Phono, and it was perfection. It cleared up all the issues I was having. I did try it with both tubes, and I feel pretty much the same way about it either way. You know, a good phono preamp makes a big difference. Of course, everything in the chain does. I used audio art cables for everything, which I usually do. Not much to say about cables. I mean, cables are cables, but I do enjoy those. I think they're great cables. Let's see. So for speakers, I said I used the triangle BR04s, and again, I'm looking right now because I've forgotten the name of the other ones. There's too many numbers, too many different speakers to keep track of all it, and of course they come and go for me. But the Aperion Veris VB8 bookshelf speakers. And I also had super tweeters on those. If you're familiar, it's like an add-on super tweeter. With the triangle, I think I enjoyed those a little more. They're kind of just like the Billie. They're kind of a bare bones, no nonsense, classic speaker. It sounded absolutely amazing with it. With the red tubes, I did see a little bit more prominent roll-off in the treble than I would have maybe liked, but if I wasn't sitting there critically listening, critiquing everything about it, I don't know that I would notice that. As far as the Aperion VB8, the treble I felt like was a lot more extended with the red, but I did use the super tweeter. It's a ribbon tweeter, and that I think helped with that a lot. But I still kind of liked that more classic sound of the triangle speakers. I did try it with the Definitive Technology. What is it? BP9040, I think they were. Again, a cinema speaker, but honestly performed really, really well. The bass was just overwhelming. They are self-powered. I did turn it down some, but it felt like if I turned it down to where it wasn't just like kicking me in the chair, it felt like it just wasn't there enough. It wasn't present enough. So I will say, if you're using this with like a cinema speaker like that with self-powered subs, it's going to sound pretty good, but you're not really getting the potential out of this. Let this drive those subs. Let's see. Let's go back to the notes. I think that's pretty much all that I had for it. My one downside, as I said before, I wish it had some different outputs and different inputs. This is designed to be bare bones. It's designed to be just a classic tube amp. You just plug in and go. So maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here, but I would love to see this amp with some XLR input and output, maybe 4.4 millimeter headphone output. Again, I'm nitpicking the wrong amp, I think, for that. That's not the direction they wanted to go with this. That being said, I think that's really nitpicky. Maybe I'm just looking for something wrong with it, but I would not hesitate to buy this. And the cost, as it was configured, $31.67. Plus the 69 or 99 extra for the performance headphone amp. Like I said, I got both. I think it's a steal. I think this thing punches way above that price point. And I kind of went into it really based on reading their website and you know, doing some digging like that. I went into it thinking it's not going to be kind of all that, you know. It's designed to be bare bones. It's going to sound bare bones. I don't feel that way about this at all. I think just the fit and finish on it is wonderful. I think the sound is beautiful. Even just the knobs, the texture of everything, the looks, the feel, how it makes you feel when you're listening to it. I can't say enough about it. One last thing before I go, the tubes, again, to harp on those. I did get them broken in by the manufacturer. They don't normally do that. They do that for reviewers. And the reason is we don't have a lot of time with them. I obviously have to ship this back so the next reviewer can review it, although I may leave the country with it before then, if I can get away with it. The tubes, they were burned in, I want to say, I think they said about 30 hours each. They sounded pretty good right out of the box, and they just kind of got better as time went on. Again, I put 20 on the red, 10 on the gold. I feel like they probably need more break-in period than that. So, when you first get it, it probably isn't going to sound, if you've never gotten a tube amp before, it's not going to sound how you maybe want it. Give it some time, play it a little bit, heat up those tubes, and I think you're going to be really, really impressed with this. That's pretty much all I've got. But I really appreciate you joining and watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe so I can do more of this. And go ahead and send Heaven 11 an email and tell them that you want them to just let me keep this. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you later. Thanks.